All right, C1x Road to launch, day 22.5. Got a second video of the day in the evening. Did a short video this morning where I put a few more touches on this part. We were looking at some changes to make here, getting the grade algorithm updated in the app. And I've been messing around with this stuff a little bit. And I have an idea, I think, for what I want to do with it. And we're going to try and implement that now. So we've got colors, we've got labels. So what I think I want to do, I was trying it with the rings. So pretty close to where I left off last time with some additional changes was here. I looked at doing progress bars earlier. I've commented it out so far. I'll put it back now just for show and tell. But I was trying these progress bars, and it does pretty clearly convey the information, but it's just not exciting. So I was testing this out off video earlier today, and am going away from it. We're going back to the radial circles. I do want them to be unique. They fit pretty well. I kind of like this staggered view with the text on screen, but the text on the rings itself is pretty hard to read. So what I would like to do is to have this have a legend over here, this have a legend over here. That's my goal. I do notice that they're spaced evenly, and yet they are not spaced evenly, which is peculiar. I'm not sure what that is. If I make it center, it's still all kind of pushed to one side, isn't it? It has to be related to like a ring thickness thing or something that I'm just not gonna get to fix. So we're going back to our small radial here. We're going to try and update this. So legend on top, text on rings. Legend on top is true if text on rings is false. So this one's not going to be text on rings. This will be rings per legend on right. We'll default it to be false. That's fine. Let's come down here. So this is legend equals column if text on rings legend. So we're not going to do this. It's always a legend. We got row, legend on top. That's aligning the cross axis. Okay. Here we'll go. So if legend on right, legend. This needs to be that, and then this will be if legend on right. So if it's false, meaning it's going to be on the left, we throw it here. If it's true, we throw it here. Legend on top works. It is also, this is never on right. I'm thinking about this wrong. It's always above or below. So there is no cross-axis alignment, and it's not a row. This just needs to be a column. So this is what gets called. This is our return. So this is instead going to be a column. Let's get rid of this. And then children, this is going to be if legend on top. And this will be if legend on top is false, meaning it's going to be on the bottom. And there is no right or left. Okay. No text on rings. We are not calling that. Let's go remove that section from this. if text on rings, which is yellow, down to here. Still don't. There we go. All right, so since I've backed all of that out, now if I update the call here, do a little update, see if I can see what it looks like. Still getting a legend off to the right. Return column. Oh, it doesn't set a width. That's not. Legend on top, legend. Sized box, chart. We set this, which is strange. Just returning a column. Main axis size min, main axis alignment, center it. There we go. Okay. So now we have top and bottom. It looks like maybe just a little bit of overflow on the bottom there, but close. And I actually think I want this one. So this one can be legend on top, false. What was I defaulting it to? Small radial. Was I not at all? I definitely was. Legend on top. Defaulting it to true. Okay. That makes sense. And then this one will be true. Let's update that real quick. Okay. So that's closer to what I want to get. Let's see if I reduce that to 1. And I reduce this to 1. Gives me a little bit more space there. Not a lot, but a little bit. I think because I was adding this padding just for the staggered approach, and I may be able to just get away without it entirely now that I'm displaying the legends there. Give me that update. Removing the padding, yeah. Okay, and then on that radial, let's add a const sized box, height 20. This actually needs to. Gotta go within here. Give me the spacing over there too. Okay. I think that's definitely looking better. Calculating font size. So the calculated font size is this. Maybe we double the font size. Way too much. Way little too much. Okay. Now it's just that little bit of overlap at the bottom that I got to figure out. Ring gap, ring thickness is 20, like 18. Does that? Looks a little bit better. It's kind of getting me into the ring count is equal to percentages dot length. There's just a small bit of overlap on the bottom here. I want to make sure that it's fitting exactly within that screen. If legend on top like maybe I just need one extra sized box here. Maybe it's that easy. This is starting to look better. And then I was thinking a few things. One, that I want these labels to correspond with this, these labels to correspond with this. And I want to overlap some of the statistics a little bit. I don't want these to just be copies of what I already have down here. I want them to be a little bit more unique. And eventually I want the user to have the ability to customize which stats are shown on those rings, which would be nice. So, what to tackle first? First, I need those colors to be a little bit bigger. I can start with that. That's pretty easy. 20 and 20. Yes, lovely. Font size I think is pretty good. That's actually almost even just a little too big. Yeah, that's nice. Getting the labels to flip. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to pass. I guess I'm already passing labels. And then it will be passing, we have colors. So this is going to need to be ring colors and ring colors. And also label colors. Required this ring colors. And required label colors. Okay. So let's go use them here. The ring painter is going to get ring colors. These are label colors. Label colors. That's actually it. Not going to use that. And then here, so this one I can pass ring colors. And then I can pass label colors. And that can be round display colors dot driving. And then this one, this can be ring colors and label colors, putting ring. And then we would just need to flip the labels. So this can become 2, this becomes 1. Maybe it's that easy. Gonna have to do a full reset there. Yeah. Okay. Is that confusing? I wonder if it's on the bottom, if I could shift it to the right somehow. Like if we go, this is the legend, main axis size. If I were to do, like if legend's on top is false, we go sized box here. If maybe I wrap this, maybe if I only wrap it with the padding, I go only, and then we push it like 20 to the left. I think that might work. Screen, I can go size times 0.1. Too much? No. It's not bad. Can I add even more spacing here? Go 2. And then here we go, add padding. Same thing, but to the right. Okay, let's check that out. Yeah, I think that's getting better. My only issue now is going to be how that fits on a smaller phone. This probably needs to be based off of size. If I do size times 0.2. Trying to base everything off of size so that it adjusts based on screen width. A little bit smaller, but I think it's still pretty good. A little more room for stuff up here. I do think that's a good start. I was thinking about trying to show the round grade on this screen as well. Probably needs to go up here. Yeah, probably. I did a Worlds video today too. We got Ezra's absolute disgusting round. Obviously, ignore these stats because those are what I'm changing. But 100% from C2 today. Ridiculous. All right, back to finals round. Sorry, I keep showing as 9. So a step here, I guess, is going to be creating my own organization for this, and stat organization. I don't have that one open yet. All graphics. Needs to just be completely different. Small radial, what does it take in? I need a list string for the labels. I can update the way this is passed. So that will not be hard. I just need to determine what stats I want to show, right? That's going to be the hard part. On the round display, I'm already calculating a whole bunch of stuff up here, including those percentages. Calculate bar percentages, calculate circular percentages. Where's my stats calculations? So I'm already generating stat calculations. I really should just be able to use that, which is returning the map that's in this order, I believe. Where do I stats calculations? That's what I'm passing to the infographic via stat data. Around infographic, bar percentages. Do I not use? Infographic content. Where am I at here? Stat display infographic. Not round display. This is where I pass it, which then gives each of those as a children, as a child, which is called to this. Yeah, okay. what is... I think I'm going to need to pass some stuff into ChatGPT here. Yeah, we got it open. All right, so single round calculations. I call a function which returns a set of calculated stats in the format below and set the return value to a new variable. What do I want? I want to have a structure which allows a user to select which stats they want displayed and have the view update accordingly by passing different percentages to a graphic. How can I utilize the variable which receives the return value below within a structure to give users this ability? Maybe I described that well. Storing them in a variable, yep. Creating a list of selected stats. I can create them as a key, okay. Okay, I can do that. Can I do that within a existing file? Display calculation stat, maybe just in that stat organization file. I feel like it's got enough in it. I think probably a new file under round management. At some point I'm gonna have to go up and just clean all of these files. And this can be stat selection dart. No, not that. This. Paste. And then give me material. And give me, yeah, stat organization. All right, selected stat keys. Filter the stats for display. Selected stats equals this. Display the graphics. Build stat graphic. I gotta pass that. Okay. So in the round display view up here, I think I can do this. This becomes stats calculations. Selected stat keys. Round management, stat selection. What do I want to call it? Stats selected for display. And then here we've got stats selected for display. And I think letting it do that autofill for me automatically adds the update above. Equals entry key, so I've got selected stats, and then I just pass that. Assuming I'm passing percentages. So selected stats would have to be statistics that these all exist as fractions. So if I'm staying with those graphics, everything has to be a percentage, which is, I think, just fine. On the round infographic view, when I call these down below, I could go ahead and calculate the percentages, or I'm just passing fractions. I already have, that's actually perfect. It is already in the format that I want it to be, selected stats. So we just have to come up here and do a, what is map string dynamic? Let's go final this stats for radial display. And then required this stats for radial display. And then I can just pass those down here. How to do this? I can break them out separately actually. So we can go a stats for first radial display, and I can do a stats for second radial display. Stats for second radial display. Oh, and then I gotta, yeah. Required this stats for second radial display. Come all the way down here. And then this can become this. Doesn't like that. Stats calculations, entries. In step 3, what would the type be of selected stats? Map string dynamic, okay. So the full inferred type is that, okay. Okay. Now let's say, I guess let me go up to it, step 4 here. Entry, key entry. Can I do a dot value? Would that work? Where are we at? Not there yet. Not around display here. Iterable dynamic can't be assigned. Okay, so I'm trying to then pass that value into a function which requires a list and the selected stats I pass will be formatted as a fraction like this. So numerator, denominator, dot, dot, dot. What do I need to do to use these values? Okay. That's fine, I'll do that. Can't be accessed in an initializer, yeah. I guess maybe I can just add them down here. First radial values, second radial values, second, and then down here, first radial values, and second radial values. Okay. So now I'm requiring stats for first radial display, stats for second radial display. I can calculate them here. Stats calculations. Stats selected for first display. And then let's do selected first radial stats. We'll do one for second radial stats for second display. And then we're going to go down here. A lot of values. Stats for first radial display is this. Stats for second radial display is that. Let's add this at the end. Let's scroll down here where I'm going to assume I have the same issue. Maybe I don't. No, I definitely do. Like so. Alright, now we go back up, and I just have to go create the stat selection for first radial. Radial. I do want to add those. Display. Stat selected for second radial display. These probably need to be like providers. I think the below might need to be providers in order to make sure I'm changing them live. Can you create these as providers using the pod package in a format like below? Providers. Okay, that's good. Stat selection, so this is going to be this. And we're going to create the providers, like so. And then I just need extra reuse. I don't think I need extra reuse. Let's go grab the appropriate imports here. Like so. Round display is obviously going to get messed up from that, but we will fix it. Go this. Second selected, and go here. Selected first radial stats, selected second radial stats. That's what I pass, I believe. Or no, that's the, yeah, okay. Selected first, selected second. Is that actually what I used? Let's go make sure here. Yes, it is. Okay. Where the heck does that get me? Where the heck does that get me? Fairway and C2, C1. Stats for first radial display, stats for second. What is my selection here? Fairway hits, C1x putting key. How do I call them on the infographic? I'm not using them at all, right? First radial values and second radial values. Or no, I am passing those. The labels I'm not changing. Okay. So those I need to get. Shoot. Final. Do I need stats? Am I already getting a does my map string dynamic already include the labels for each stat? I don't want the keys. Okay. And I do already have a get label. So let's go back to stat organization. I do need, let me go verify the type first. Just list string, okay, good. Final list string labels for, I can just do this down here. Labels for first radial display, labels for second radial display. Thank you, thank you. Okay, now can I final labels for first radial stats is equal to stat organization dot get label. How do I, okay, I need a function here. Can I use the below function to get the labels for all stats that I have in my selected stats list of keys? I simply need to use the list of keys in order to assign the list of labels to a new list string variable. Thank you. Is equal to this. Can I actually get it or no? First radial display. Yes. Oh, I can do it based off of this one. I see. Yeah, that makes way more sense. I've never been able to call directly from a provider before. I don't know why I thought I could there. I do feel like this is getting a little convoluted, but I'm just not sure what the best way is to clean it up at the moment. Labels for second radial stats. And then we go down to our massive calls here and add them. Labels. Labels for first stats. All right, so we got all of those. Whoa, come on. Come on now. Let's grab these, go down to my other call, add it here, right? Yes. Got one extra comma in there. Okay. Let's see what that's given me. Fairway, C2IR, C2, C1x. So something's not quite there. Did I use the labels down below? Labels for first radial display. I did not. So this is actually going to be this, comma, and then the second one will go here. Second. Reset there. Fairway C1x, fairway C1x. Okay. And that is what we're calling here. So this actually, I don't know if this is quite going to work. What if I need the two instances below to be initialized to a different set of keys? Okay, so let's go back here. We've got this. Doesn't like some things there. This. And this. This code is riddled with errors. Lots of errors on your multiple and that. Yeah, I've got the import there. Clear stats. Not any better. Find the provider correctly. Okay. Create these. Why does ref.watch set keys? Aren't we only changing them with ref.read and already initializing them to those values? I spelled initializing pretty bad there. I don't want to watch the provider instance with that exact set of keys. Those keys are subject to change by the user, as I stated earlier. So wouldn't I just want to watch the provider and not care about what keys they hold in a given instance? That's why they're a provider, so they change. Let's try the whole thing again. I mean, that seems much better, but stats selected for first. Where's my watch here? First radial display provider. All right, give me the first error here. Lots of these errors in your first block. So just do exactly what I already. Still the same. Still getting lots of these in the void toggle stat. That's good. Let's just do that from now on. Okay. C2 regulation and scramble. So having set them differently, am I actually going to get different variables now? Or am I just going to get the... No, I didn't get the error. Okay. Definitely getting first radial stats first, second, That's what I call here, second radial stats, second radial display, first and second, labels for first and second. Are the numbers the same? The numbers are the same too. Fairway and C1x. 89 and 83. Yeah, so I'm getting fairway and C1x. So something is working. Around infographic content, make sure I'm passing everything. Selected first, selected second. Labels for first, labels for second. Okay, in the infographic, I'm getting those variables. I'm assigning the values. Okay. I don't know, so we're gonna have to try some print statements here. Print labels for first radial stats. Print labels for second. So it says they're the same. I'm getting fairway and C1x, which is true here. First radial stats, second radial stats. I don't know, maybe I need another reset on it, or fairway and C1x. All right, let's ask the question first to clarify. In the below code should give me two providers that are initialized to holy cow, two different sets of stat keys, right? Okay. If that's true, then how come the below code sets both of my labels values to fairway hits key and C1x putting key? Must be a typo or something. I never updated one of them to second. No, I didn't. It's literally right here. Whoo! All right, good now? Ta-da! Okay. Oh, but now those values changed. I've got values flipped. Around infographic. So I'm giving the first radial values. Fairway and C1x should go here. I'm just getting the wrong numbers displayed. Which I guess makes sense. Small radial. Because I'm getting the value, which is assigned to here, but the number needs to go to the other one, the other graph. Label text, container. And label text is equal to labels, percent display. Yeah, okay. So, last thing we need here. We need labels. I need a final list int label fractions. Required label fractions. And then, because I get fractions there, percentages. Okay, so then I can do this. I can go label percentages is equal to label fractions dot map, and then I need to use label percentages. What do I pass to the ring? The ring gets just percentages passed to it. Okay. So for this, I can go here. No. Is equal to label percentages. I need to update the call. Label colors, label fractions is equal to second radial values. And then first radial values. Let's do a reset again. This has me a little bit concerned just because I don't know how sustainable my code is here. But it is finally now working. So all we have to do is in the stat selection, whatever stats I want to be shown on those graphs, we just have to add the key here and everything will update. Like for example, I should be able to just come here and go stat organization dot C2 putting key. We can do a reset. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What? Okay. Is small ring only accepting 2? Or what's the issue here? 67%. Well, no, this should not be based on ring count. Final label count is equal to label percentages dot length. Can I just do that? Yeah, okay. Whoo! We're not broken, guys. It's okay. It's okay. Our spacing is just trashed at the moment. Why is this touching the edge of the screen? I don't know. Let's wrap this with a size box, and we're gonna go width, screen width, 0.99. Didn't help. Why is it getting pushed? Is it because of this? Is that why? My scramble percentage label needs to be decreased. Like I wonder if I go up here to scramble and we just reduce it to that, how much that helps. A little bit, but only a little bit. On the radial, let's adjust this padding a little bit. On 5. One. still just not centered. I don't understand why it won't just center it for me. Just help me out here. Put it in the middle. Something about drawing these custom rings just throws a lot of spacing stuff really far off. I don't know. Is it this? Is this an issue? No, that's not good. I do want that to be start. Padding is only 4 there. Got a row here. Decoration. Got a little spacing there. Between it and the text, I have to assume, like, I guess what if I reduce these to 0? It's centered at that point. So the issue is this label pushing it to the right. I mean, I think this is okay right now. If I leave it at 0, that's okay. It is okay. Let's, do I call colors here? I do call colors, round display colors, putting ring. So now it is really, let me close some of these guys out, round display. Move that here. Get rid of this, get rid of this. So to update these layouts, we just have to change colors here and change stats here. So for the colors, I think the first one we can do the vivid scheme of the app background. I don't think that would be bad. Round display colors here. So maybe we just call this like first ring colors. And second ring colors. And then on the round infographic, this can be first, second. I don't know why it wanted to capitalize. Oh, because evidently I capitalized it. All right, we'll fix that. Okay. Now let's go vivid, sunset red, vivid sunset blush, vivid sunset orange. On the second one, what colors? So we've got these 3 on the first. We could keep going, actually. I should keep going. Let's clarify that. I should keep going. Should I allow more than 3 stats on these? I guess, like, what happens if I throw like red dark in here? App theme colors dot sunset red dark. And then on the stat selection, I add what we do, like scrambles key or something. Does 4 rings just look terrible? That's going to be my question. Four rings might be a bit much. What stat isn't 100%? Parked. Let me see what a non 100% stat looks like. What? Parked is last here. But it's not being displayed last? Like, what's going on there? The labels don't match. Still doing it. Round infographic. Colors, colors. Radial values. Labels for second radial display. Fairway, C1x, C2 parked. The labels are in the right order. The stat values are not. For some reason here, my labels are in the right order, but the stat values are not. Let's go do a print statement there just to double check. Print selected. Yeah. Yeah, it shows part second. Haven't you have already started them like this? Nice. Okay. Update. Oh, there we go. I don't think so on that centering. I think we're limiting it to 3 here. So I can get rid of that. We're not doing 3, or not doing 4 stats, excuse me. So those are the colors I want to use for the first one. I think that's good. The second one, I wonder if to try and keep it on brand here, if I just flip the order, if that looks weird. So like second ring colors being just these. But in the opposite order. And then stats to display. This is the question. Let's go to stat organization. What stats need to be shown on this? I want to show putting. Maybe like the obvious thing that makes sense is to display them like putting and driving. I want it to be unique. I want them to be different. I'm already showing score frequencies, so that cuts out all of those. Like I am limited essentially to what I already have. Thinking here. We'll try it. It's not overly original, but it's important that it looks good and is the information that people would actually want to convey. This is going to get confusing because the legends are not gonna correspond there. Like it's not clear which graph this goes to. I could like draw a line between them, but okay. How could I draw a line between them? I could try and do more of like a red theme and a orange theme. Let's start with this. I was using the below colors in a ring and a radial chart, which are the main colors. And this gives a nice red to orange gradient on the graphic. What I want to do instead is have two graphs, one using 3 variants of color on the red end and one using 3 of color on the orange end. One of the red colors and one of the orange colors still need to match my red and orange below. Provide 2 sets of 3 colors to meet this. Okay, and these over the orange. All right, and then we go on our round display colors. Vivid red light, vivid sunset red, vivid sunset red deep, and we just replace these with orange. Okay, so those are the ring colors we're going to change. I want to add a little, maybe that's enough of a change actually. Maybe then I won't need to add a line between them. I do want to, though, add a little border around the dots on the legend. So let's go to the, not the stat display infographic, whole breakdown card. Copy this decoration, and let's go back to our small radial. It's actually, I don't even need that, we just need border. Let's go 2. Okay, and let's try, I might want to go a little bit bigger too, like 17. Reset. Let's give all those changes a go. So mostly red, mostly orange, and then some borders around those, the legend. Honestly, yeah. I feel like the border could be thicker. The dots could be a little bit bigger. don't hate it. I don't hate it. Tapping out there. Tapping out. All right. Next change. Gotta move on. I've got some marketing stuff I need to do today too. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it on video. Next thing is making our just score distribution up here match the style that I have below. It's actually it's not like gonna hurt to leave it on there, but I'm gonna have the exact same thing twice essentially. Nicer legend here, but so let's go to the segmented, because this is exactly how I need it to look. I definitely could have, like, let's go round infographic, not the build whole score summary, score bar. So I've got score bar somewhere around infographic. Sizing. Round display whole graphics. No. Round display graphics, score bar. Score segment. Score segment is equal to a container. So like what happens if just here I add a border? Decoration, box decoration. We add a border radius, and let's say I say, yeah, we do that. What does that get me? I can't do both. Is that an actual thing? It is. So here I can add the color, segment color. Trying to see if I just make this change here, how close I am to. Not quite. Okay. Noted. Noted. Okay, so I do want it to just kind of copy the style that I already have. I already have a segmented, whole scoring segmented bar. So that is what I would like to copy from my round infographic view. Instead of the score bar, do I already force that to be? I gotta stop going back and forth here. Segmented. Screen width. I already make it times 0.9. Okay. So let's say that is for sharing. I take it out. Interesting. I'm sure I have a good reason for that. Here I want whole scoring segmented bar. Whole scoring segmented bar. Segments, screen width. Okay, and so then how do I pass segments here? List, generate, process data length. My round pars, stats for first radial display. Yeah, I mean I could just pass some bar percentages as just a list double. probably need the same thing here. Oh. Stats for whole segmented bar. Stats for whole segmented bar. And then let me make sure I can just no, that definitely doesn't work. Why did I think that was going to work? Widget factory. Return segment data. To stats labels. I don't want labels here. I don't really like what I'm doing there either. Because I want to just use the same style. That's kind of the point of having it. I need to get to a variable in of the type below. I'm starting with my all stats variable as calculated below. Round display, round display. Where's it at? The segments will correspond to different whole scoring frequencies, which are part of the data set returned to my stats calculations variable. I can create a structure with the keys for each frequency may be needed. I don't think I need colors. I already have colors. Scoring keys. Stat selection. Don't need those. User's not going to get to change any keys here. So I need this essentially. Scoring keys is equal to stat or organization.ace frequency key albatross eagle frequency birdie par bogey double bogey or worse. Drop these. All right, so we got our scoring keys. I do not need colors, and then we're gonna go not here, we can go down here. Radial stats, labels, I don't need. Segment data. Do I call it here? I do call it here, segment data. So I need to import segmented. Individual graphics, segmented, individual stacked, segmented, there we go. No color. Percent is required. That's the infographic round display. Contains key map, segment data. On my widget factory. Process data as I to double. Okay. Stats for whole scoring segments. That's what we're going to call this. And then down here, we've got stats for whole segment var, stats for whole scoring segments. Okay, so that is the right call. I just need to update the type in the function itself. That's going to go here and there, and then round infographic. This needs to be list segment data. Okay. Okay, and then on the segmented view, because I cannot add a we need a final bool is for round display. This dot is for round display equals false. Yes. But then if it's true, we need to get rid of the legend. Which is this. If is for round display. So if it's false, meaning that it's not on the round display, then we show the legend. If it is, then we do not. So we got to copy the whole center here. Paste it here. Yeah, the C1x code was really organized for a while, and now as I've started to add these graphics, it is definitely getting a little hectic. All right, list int is not a type. Around display 211. So on this call, I get correct. Place percent with value. Segmented. Segmented is a percent. Let me get the segments here. I need to not sure this is what I need. When I set this variable, I need to make sure that it is actually segmented. Does this turn each? Man, I'm so confused. My stats calculations contains a list int for each score frequency in the format of times that score occurred, holes played. Does this change your answer? Correct. So back to round display. This seems like you're just a percent can't be greater than 1. Seems like that's what you're creating. In my widget factory, when I pass it, whole scoring process data as double. I'm getting process data as stat data map. Oh, okay. In my current and my other graphics, I receive a value in the format of my stats calculations map and convert it to processed data via the following. I then pass the processed data in the below format. And then widget factory. Here, segments. Infographic. I need to do the same thing with my current code, which is probably just me just typing out the answer. Round display. Then I can probably just do it like I did up here. Round display. Oh, I'm missing one here. All right, and then this can become my stats calculations. Oh, we don't like that. Huh. Could have sworn I was doing this the exact same way. Stat data, called by widget factory. This pulls in stat data. I guess what do I? Let's go there. Second item, which is values. And values comes from that. Okay, that does not work. Disregard. Let's try this. Okay. Surely I'm still going to have some issue here. Birdie frequency, par frequency. Scoring keys. Where does scoring keys come from? Did I create that somewhere? Did I create it up above? I did. I've created that somewhere. Here I did. Scoring keys. Okay. Each of the values has a label. I want it to display the label and not the key. And Birdie it is uppercasing it. So it is just straight up displaying the key. Okay. Get label. That fixed. Because I passed a different label. Why did that fix the scoring too? Glad that it did. Get label, because I was doing it based off of the label. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Round infographic. So I got rid of that. Instead I just called this. Do I need that little bit extra space? That is not where I thought I was just doing that. I need to go down here. This 10. Okay. And then, I mean, what? The question's just got to become, how screwed am I for a smaller screen? Oh, it is still showing, maybe this is part of my issue. It's showing a label here. And it's because I'm not actually calling the is for round display. Answer my own question. Below score, below this. Is for round display true. Update that, that should go away. Perfect. Okay. Do I dare? Yeah, I got some issues there. All right, I'll save the image so we can at least see where my overflow is occurring. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so it definitely seems like there's a chance that this is just not going to work at all. I'm going to have to make them quite a bit smaller. Which I can do. I can do it. So on this we've got is for sharing. Round infographic sizing. So this is, I mean, this is probably the stuff I need to mess with here. Static const. Let's go down to these. Sizes, screen width times 0.4. Do I use screen width elsewhere? Like, what do I do? That's round names. Where's my segmented? Here we go. I pass screen width all the same. I'm also not showing it though. I do not show the score distribution at all, which, yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. So those guys I need to update. Okay. All IDs, all sizing, all IDs. Okay. So. Screen width times 0.4. How do I do that? Scorecard wrapper size. Set of 9. Like surely somewhere it really is just that. Build whole score summary. If I go down here, what are those values? Build whole score summary. Text size, score box thickness size. Row, I space them evenly. I wrap everything in a container. I never set the size. But I do set. I wonder what happens if I remove sizing completely from my calls down here. So like if I just comment this out, let's close all this stuff out, not segmented. Let me open up the small radial, and then let's comment. This is lots of commenting out here. Okay. And then, sure, I mean, I gotta just do the same thing here then, right? No, it's saying that's good. Calls paint. Didn't I just get rid of that call though? Definitely did. You can try it. I'm surprised that's not throwing an error. I feel like there's something I'm missing there. I don't feel like I'm going to like what I've done here. Definitely not going to. Okay. Undo. So the question is, how do I get it to fit on a share? Text size is okay. Probably needs to be a little bit smaller. I guess the calculated font size is based on the size of the rings. Okay. And when I pass size, it's screen width. And screen width is I guess what do I set screen width to on the round display when I'm doing a share? Let's find out. Not there. Functions, no. Not change round name. This guy. All right, screen width is which one do I set as 1080? I'm setting screen width to 1080. Okay. So static const radial full width, radial graphic width is equal to radial graphic width multiplier 0.4 display, and let's go with maybe we try 0.2. Maybe I'm good enough there. And then on the infographic, size is for sharing. Or actually here I just go, we just need this. Size is this. Round infographic sizing, radial graphic width multiplier. Or I've got to add the key actually. With multiplier ID. Okay. Add that there. Add that there. ID. And mode. So, oh, and this needs to be screen width times. Let's do a reset. Now the hope is that our display view on the actual app still looks the same. Seems like it might. Does. Okay, let's share it. I did not get any overlap there. Or no overflow issue, I should say. Yeah. Wonder if I can pass is for sharing and I can make these larger with the legends on this side. Let's go if is for sharing. Else. All right, so this is a little excessive, but tab it out, copy and paste. And then if it is for sharing, we go for sharing. For sharing. And now I update this to affect where the label's at. So this one is going to be legend on left. No, actually, I think I can keep that. Legend on top. It's always got to be off to the side. Final bool legend on right. True. True and true. Okay. And so on the column, that's our legend. So here it's actually going to be a row. Row, not root widget. Going to be a row. Let's space evenly. Try that. Cross-axis alignment. Cross-axis alignment. Legend on top. Start, otherwise end. Okay. If legend on right. So here let's try getting rid of the padding for right now. If legend on right, we're going to go I guess where's the ring at? Oh, the middle size box stuff. All right, so if it's not on the right, then we go legend width, I don't know, 50. And if it is on the right, then it goes here, width 50. Get rid of that. And we'll see what that gets me. So once again, we should not be affecting this view at all. Only trying to get the share function to give me something presentable again. Still no overflow, which is good. I did not update any of the calls, so this is not going to look how I want it to, but let's go run infographic. All right, so legend on top was false, legend on top was true. size can be a little bit bigger here. Let's get rid of that. Well, maybe I need that. Spacing those evenly. Going the full screen width there. So this one needs to be true and legend on right true. And then they can both be false here. False, false. And now the values actually need to match up. So labels for first, labels for second. These can both be second. Oh. These can both be first. First radial values. Second radial values. I do want, on infographic sizing, I want it to be just a little bit bigger. 2.5. Let's do a reset there, see where we're at. Let's do a share. Still no overflow, which is good. Let's go check out the picture. How much height do I want them to take up? It looks like I want them to take up a full quarter of the screen, I think. So what, that's 1080 divided by 4, which is 270? Maybe. Let's give that a try. Height 270. Reset. Back it up. Go to the app. Let the reset happen here. The monster. Share. Still no overflow, which is good. Let's see if I actually made him bigger there. That is the latest one. Is that really only? That is probably. Okay, let's go 350. Let's give that a try. Because they have more room to take up, and I want them to take it up. No overflow, still good. Oh. did it take that? No, that's not it. There we go. Yeah, they're definitely getting there. I wonder if I can still make the rings even a little bit bigger. Make the ring size a little bit thicker. Probably kind of pushing my luck here, but you know. I'm not on the view that I thought I was on. Here we go. For sharing, what if we go like 40 for the ring thickness? Now we got an overflow. Looks like I got a little greedy there. So what if I take this to 25 and I take this back to 25? Was not expecting to spend time on the share function, but I should have been expecting that. All right, back to no overflow. See if the thicker rings look any better. Yeah, a little bit. The font size can be a little bit bigger there. Probably. It would be nice to make these substantially bigger, put all the labels on top of each other. Like just drastically change this again. You know? Uh-huh. Yep. I don't know, the whole share function just needs some work. And I don't know if now is the time that I want to do it. Ultimately what I'm getting at there, I don't know, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. Fractions 1, fractions 2, ring colors 1, ring colors 2, no label colors, no labels fractions, none of these. Oh. Labels 1 and labels 2, okay. Don't need this. Percentages 1, percentages 2, 1, 2. Ring count 1, percentages 1. Ring count 2 is percentages 2. We have no label count now because they're always going to match the ring count. Ring thickness is fine. Base radius 1 equals ring count 1. And base radius 2 is equal to ring count 2. Ring painter, chart 1 and chart 2, and then 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, legend. Legend 1. This is just going to be ring count 1. Label percentages 1. No percentages there. This is just going to be percentages 1. Labels 1. Label colors 1. No. Ring colors 1. Ring colors 1 dot length. And then we need to do the same thing but for legend 2. So legend 2 here. Everywhere I've got a 1, I need a 2. 2. 2. Ring colors 2. Ring colors 2. Label text. Okay, so now we've got that. This is still going to be a row. So we're first going to go here, width, size, chart 1. We've got a column, children. And I want them to be slightly staggered, just a little bit. Oh, so we're gonna go no cross-axis alignment here. Want them centered. This one is going to be legend 1, comma, constant size box, height 100 maybe, probably a little excessive, 50. Legend 2, we're going to get rid of this. Then we're going to add a little bit of padding to each of them, so refactor padding only. And then I want a padding of 50 on the right. We're going to do the same thing here, but on the left. We still call ring painter the same way. And then now on infographic, if it's for sharing, we just have a single one here. I'll still set the height on it. The 350 is good, I think. I can maybe even go a little bit bigger. Let's go 400. And then here we're going to go, yeah, small ring radial chart for sharing. Just missing lots of arguments. I don't need these. I don't need these. I do still need size. So I have fractions 1. we have fractions 2 is equal to second radial values. So I'm combining them all into one so that I can display, the goal is to have slightly bigger chart, all of the labels in the center kind of offset. Labels 1, we've got labels 2, labels for second radial display. We've got ring colors 1, and then I've got ring colors 2. Display colors dot second ring colors. Add a couple commas here, and that is good. So now I think I can get rid of this. And I think I can almost do a reset. Maybe we make this slightly bigger now. Let's just do a reset and try it. Maybe get that to be at least somewhat presentable. We got an overflow. Looked like I royally messed something up there. In a row, space evenly. Width size, height size. I never threw the other second chart here, which explains why that was not working. So that's an important one. And the overflow was just barely on the bottom. Okay. Trying to space them evenly. And I think the main axis alignment min was maybe hurting me. So let's say I kick that down to 20. Let's do a reset. See where I'm at after that change. Still got a little overflow on the bottom. 16. That's got to be, we've got to be close there though. Yeah, definitely closer to what I'm looking for. And no issue on, like I feel like I still need to make these bigger. Like if I just kick this up to 450. And I would like a little bit of spacing in between those. I don't know why they're not spacing out more. That one is interesting to me. Do I still have my size? What do I pass for size here? Screen width times. So I guess regardless of how big they could still be bigger. Let me see what that does. So we increase the size of the container and the size of the graphics. Still an overflow 2 pixels. 2. That's my issue now. I do still want a little bit more spacing between the text and the circles there, just a little bit. So here I need a so the first one I pad to the right. Let's go left 10 and right 10. and I decrease that barely. I wonder if the sized box is too big. I don't know. Try that. If it got bigger, then I think I need to increase that. If my overflow got bigger. Let me see if that's actually the case there. Okay. No overflow. Does it look okay? I mean, it is obviously not perfect, but boy, do I think I need to stick with it. I thought the offset would look good there, but maybe it just looks stupid. Let me try last change, and then we're done. I'm just going to remove the padding from both of those to try and center all the labels together and see if that looks better or worse. I wanted to offset them just so it was kind of clear that like these went to, oh, it reset. That these labels went to this graph, these went to this, but because the layout is just kind of different in the share view, I don't know if that I don't think the dots are big enough. I definitely want some padding though. Okay, I lied. We're going again. Symmetric. Here, and let's go make these a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay, maybe the last time. So added a little bit of spacing between the graphs in our legend, and then made the legend dots a little bit bigger. So made these guys bigger for the share view. Still no overflow, which is great. Love to see no overflow. Okay, so I only changed it for one of them. And the dots are too big. I forgot I had two of them. 28, 28. I added the padding to both. I don't know. Symmetric vertical is 4. 20 may not be quite enough. Let's go with 30 for each. We changed both of the dots, so maybe now this will be the last time. You know, who knows? I don't. I do not. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we will finally be done with the share function here. And once we are, then I'm really close to being done with these design changes, which was the goal at the start of this. It looks worse. It looks worse. These align at the start, these align at the start. They do not align together. Last time. Share. Save. Home. Photos. I mean, I think think I almost like the original padding better. We're going to stick with this for right now. I think I need to pause on the share function. We can add it to my big long to-do list here. Update this list accordingly. Improve layout of share function. Outside of that, is this a good spot for the round display view to be in? The only thing I still have is where to put that C1x grade at. That is my one question mark. I don't know. I want to give, and not only do I want to give, I am giving right now the round title, I believe, the full width of the screen to expand, and I kind of want to do that. In a row, if it's not for sharing, I do that. Size box. That's it. We center it, yeah. So like it looks like right now I would have room to like throw the C1x grade over to the side over here, but on a longer course name. So if I go to the Estonia course, Talent Song Festival grounds, and I score around there, no more room. There's really not any room. There's no room on the screen. So much information that I would like to convey. And I want to still fit all this stuff on one screen, just because if people don't want to share but they just want to take a screenshot, I want that option to be available. Maybe that's an issue for another day. Obviously this top section still doesn't look great, but my intent is to get rid of this button at some point, because right now this is just our C1x grade. So obviously this one gets a 10 out of 10. 18 aces. Let's I'm gonna say round display is good for right now. The only item that's still a question mark for me is this little top area and where I put the grade. But I don't think that's something I'm gonna do just yet. I think I like the way most of this looks. We added the comma there, which was good. Complete redesign of all stats view and round summary view, including new graphics and displays. Yeah, I think that item is enough to cover the changes I did here in our version history file. So I'm going to call our round display tasks done. The last two things I do want to get to, and I'll just move them up here real quick because I don't think they're going to take too long, is just updating a couple of those other dialogues I hadn't gotten to yet. But I think once I do that, the design is really complete. So let's go to the main menu. Let's grab our secondary button design. I'll just go to the bottom for this. I need this guy, and I need to remember that I need the label argument. And then let's go to the round display view. Go all the way down to where our delete function is. What is this? got messed up here? Nothing did, it's just, this is how screwed up the indent got. Seems like it. Elevated button should be right here. Okay, it is. Cool. Something is definitely still a little bit off, but oh well, I don't know. I could format the whole document, but I think it messes some of my stuff up then. All right, so instead of the elevated button, we're going to go secondary button. And then I need label and just to say delete round. Label, delete round. No, come on, delete round. I get rid of this. Let's do a reset there. See if that actually, whoa. Kind of fits. Can I make it longer? Maybe. What was my other option there? Longer. True. Comma. Why did I do that? Why is it aligned center for factor? Remove. Remove. Strange. Okay. Show dialog. Background color is going to be our page background colors dot alert dialog background, which is still that same off-white, which is just fine. This needs to be font family Lolita. The black color is good. And then we need our secondary buttons here. Right there. Come on. And this will be cancel. These don't need to be longer. So I need this. And I need it here. This becomes delete. I get rid of this. And now I should have a good little design there. Reset it. I'll scroll all the way down. Delete round. Good. Text can be a little bit bigger. 22. And then let's add a little spacer between those. Let me reset that. Okay. Let's go back up to this one. Let's go and delete it. Okay, so delete is good, and then the filter rounds, last one. Last one. All stats management, filter dialog, build alert, dialog, title. How did I? alert dialog, just background color. Background color, page background colors dot alert dialog background. Filter rounds. Can I get a style? Here I need a font family, Lolita, comma. Okay, we should be good there. Same thing here, time frame, style. We're going to get rid of that font weight, as we have typically done, and we're just going to copy these guys here. Const text 5 rounds, comma, font style, text style, font family, Lolita. Gotta go add this in to each one of these. Throw where do you want me to add it? Like here? Yeah, okay. Set state if it's equal to that. Okay. Text style here. We'll just go font family. Maybe a little bit bigger too. Comma, font size. No, is that supposed to be in style? Did I get that wrong? Font size, yeah. 20. Text clear filters. This. Const. Unique courses, checkbox title. Title is text course, comma, style, text style, font family, Lolita, const. All right, and then these text buttons I want to be, instead of a, I'm not going to be able to fit them in a row. So maybe we go column. I get rid of this. Children, we throw a sized box height 5 here. And then I grab my, what were my button styles? Did I have anything that was going to work better here? Button designs. Rounds button, courses button, scorecard button. Scorecard buttons are big, so that's a no-go. Courses buttons were a different color, not rounds. It's just a secondary button. Here, secondary button. It's just longer. Okay, we'll throw them in a column. That's fine. That is fine. Let me go back to the main menu and grab that again. Filter dialog. This will be this. Secondary button. Here, here. Label, cancel. I don't have screen width or screen height here. Okay. We'll pass them in. Double screen width, final double screen height required this dot screen width required this dot screen height. Put them in the wrong one. Height. And then I have, where's my error? Right here. Undefined name. Didn't I just declare them there? Where do I use round courses at? Oh, I gotta do widget. Widget dot. Okay. Secondary button. Here we'll go label, apply, comma. And then I think I just need to update the call to it. All stats. Update the call just to pass screen width and screen height. Screen width. Screen, yeah. Tab it out. There we go. All right, let's do a reset. I know. Go away. Thank you. Okay, so some minor changes here. Time frame needs to be bigger. Font size 20. Filter rounds is nice and big. Time frame is good, 20. Maybe if I go even bigger, like 23. And then these can become font size 20. Here. Courses could be a little bit bigger. 20, what is that, 23 up there? Yeah. And then these courses could also be bigger. We'll go with 18. Can I go max lines here? Yes. Max lines 2. And then let's cross-axis alignment center. All right, let's save that. Let's click here. Did already kind of do it for me there. Did not center those. If I refractor here, I center it, and I do a main axis size min. It is looking much better. Clear filter should be a little bit bigger. Where was that at? Let's go font size 23. Yeah, substantially too big, 18. Monster roots. I do want the courses still to be just a little bit bigger. 20. 20, and now what happens if I score around at the Estonian one again, just to test the long name. Finish round, go back, all stats. Beautiful, centers it and everything. I love it, I love it. Okay. So nice when I do things right first time. Okay. Still some adjustments that might come from this, but clear filters should. Let's fix this actually. Selected courses equals widget initial selected courses. Does this return anything? I don't think so. Like if I do on clear filters, if I instead copy this and we do a reset, I want clear filters to select all the rounds because that's how the app is actually defaulting. Yeah. Ooh, that doesn't do anything though. Initial selected courses to set. If selected time frame. Widget.round courses to set. Oh, selected courses is equal to. Can I just do it like that? As long as this works, we're calling it for the night. Here. Yeah, love it. Can't be 0. On change, no, not there. It's checked, selected courses. Value is checked. If checked equals true, do that. And then let's go if selected courses is empty, and then give me that. All right, last change here. Can't let them not select any courses. So clearing filters makes them all selected. All time still doesn't break anything here. Beautiful. That's just at the beast. And that's back to all of them. Lovely. Okay. We are done. Design changes are done. There's still lots to do. But design changes are done. That dialog's updated. That dialog's updated. Tutorial popovers, I'm just going to set them all to off-white and make sure the font is the same. I might do that on video. I probably will. Next step is going to be pushing out an update, I think. I do need to test it on a smaller phone screen, so that's coming soon as well. Probably a lot of code cleanup too. Lots of not as exciting things to do now, but pretty happy with the result we're at currently. Definitely has kind of a cartoony look to it, but that's kind of what I'm going for. So, all right. I got to tap out there for the day. Lots of design changes done. Updated filter and round and updated dialogues for filtering and, I don't need to capitalize that, filtering and deleting rounds. Okay. It really should be a longer list, but I can just sum up 10 hours of work in one line, just layout and design changes to this view, which is fine. Okay, we're done. Probably be back tomorrow, but that's going to wrap it up for this video. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.